Here's something kind of interesting that I picked up yesterday. I stopped in at a gun shop that I occasionally visit and was perusing their stock and came across this. It's just a set of barrels. It looks like 12 gauge. I haven't measured it, but from the looks of it, it's probably 12 gauge. And it's percussion muzzleloader. And I've always liked side-by-side muzzleloader shotguns. And I actually have one. I've got a CVA Spanish-made job, but this is an old original piece here. I was looking at it to try to find information on it, and it's the first thing I saw is on the rib on the top here. It says London Twist, and you probably can't see that, but I don't know. You might can see that, maybe. Yeah. So it says London Twist, and looking at it, it is Damascus steel. So, which means that it's steel strips wound around a mandrel and hammer forged. It's the old way of making shotgun barrels, and they continued to use Damascus into the cartridge era, but only for black powder shotguns. Once they went to the smokeless powder, Damascus wasn't strong enough for smokeless powder. I don't know. They might have made a few early ones for smokeless, but the consensus nowadays is if you have a Damascus gun, cartridge gun, to not shoot it with smokeless. And of course a lot of people say don't shoot it at all, but anyway, this is Damascus and I intend to shoot it. I don't have locks to fit it or anything. I'm going to look and see what I can come up with as far as locks. It will be really cool if I could come up with a pair of antique locks to fit it. Not necessarily from the same brand or whatever, but actually I think what happened, according to reading I've done, I don't know if London Twist is I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the particular technique for making these or what it is, but I was thinking maybe one or two companies produced a lot of these barrels and sold them to gun makers who used it in their guns. But either way, whatever. On the bottom, it has a name, and I think it's, let's see, I think it's Driscoll and Warden, and it's got the name right there, and I can't read it very well. I've looked at it with a magnifying glass and everything. Best I can tell, though, is Driscoll and Warden, and I haven't been able to find anything on that brand. And there are some proof marks on it, but anyway, down on this end it's got a number, which is 30652, I think, but I'm not sure. Anyway, in my research, I've found with pretty good certainty that this was made sometime in the latter half of the 1800s. So, or maybe as late as about 1905. But anyway, it's old. And like I said, I do plan to shoot it, test fire it, and so on. And what I'll probably do is, I'm sure I'll just make a simple fixture for test firing it and fire it a few times, and if it doesn't come apart, and I have no reason to expect that it will, you know, I'm not going to be using any black powder substitutes of any variety. I'm going to just be using real black powder and light to moderate loads, maybe only light loads, but you know, I'm not going to push it at all. But black powder is pretty forgiving as long as you don't take any big chances with it. So I'll probably test it and then eventually build something on it, build it into a workable shotgun. And like I said, I hope I can find some old locks, and it doesn't matter if all I come up with is the hammers and the lock plates, because I can replace the springs if I have to, or whatever, or you know, build a whole new lock based on that with coil springs in it. But it would look pretty cool even if it had more modern internals like coil springs and hardened steel inside parts. If it had old original hammers and old original lock plates, that would be pretty cool. But you know, possibility of just making my own rudimentary locks, and don't worry about what it looks like. But anyway, I do intend to make this a shootable piece, and I don't know if I will ever feature it here on YouTube, but I'm sure that I will put it on my web page and videotape the firing of it and everything. So I'll try to let you guys know when I do that. So thanks for watching.